Thank you for joining today. We'll take a slow, restorative, yin kind of practice to focus on our foundational chakras, starting with the root chakra, moving up to the sacral chakra, and then the solar plexus chakra. And these chakras, to get balanced, they become our foundation. We can't move forward emotionally, physically, if we don't have a solid, firm foundation beneath us. So as you close your eyes here and roll those shoulders back, feel the ground beneath you. You may also just put your hands on the ground. Some of you may be outside in nature. What a wonderful way to connect with our root. But even if you're not in nature, know that the ground is beneath you. Mother Earth is beneath you, holding you up as you start to breathe in and out just through your nose. One more deep breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Float your eyes open and just come to your knees. If you've got a bolster or a blanket, you can grab it now. Take it underneath your body. I'm actually going to do both, I think. Both the blanket and the bolster. We're going to take it underneath our hips and create a safe space for a child's pose. So lay down on that bolster and that blanket, and you can just turn your head. Now, if it seems like your head is too long, you could prop a block underneath the blanket and then just lay on that space. And here we'll stay for just a few moments. Child's pose is great for opening up the hips. So this is starting to get into that sacral chakra. We've got the blanket and the bolster supporting our abdominals. So that is the solar plexus chakra. And then we're on the ground, nice and close, hands on the ground, feet, legs on the ground. So that's our root chakra. And just feel supported by the props underneath you and the ground underneath that. Gentle opening up of those hips. And just not to strain the neck, let's turn our gaze the other direction. Take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then lift up. Let's release our things for just a moment. Keep them all close by because we'll draw upon them again. And come to all fours. And just start to roll around. Any direction you want. This will help to loosen up hips and low back and abdominals a little bit, feeling everything just get loose and free. Slow breathing. Let go of tension and strain into that back. Good. And then come around to sit. I'm going to move into a forward bend, highly supported forward bend, so we'll use lots of props. You'll need a strap, perhaps your blocks, your blanket and your pillow. So let's take our legs in front of us. Some of us are tight in hamstrings and back, and it's hard to sit forward. So that's why we'll eventually move toward the strap. We'll get there. But let's bring our pillow onto our legs and then the blanket on top of that. Now you want to be able to lay forward over your legs. So if it's really tight to do so, you could also layer your blocks underneath and then put the blanket on that. So you're just raising it higher and higher, and you don't have to reach quite so far. Finally, we grab our strap, put it around all of this fun stuff, and then just hold on and let your head drop down. So we're very supported by all of the props underneath us. And we can just start to gently release the hamstrings, the low back. We can feel our Uddiyana Bandha starting to work. That is the navel lock. So you're going to pull up and in through the center of your body so that you can start lifting and engaging those muscles there in the solar plexus. So this pose right here, highly supported, is going to get to all three of our foundational chakras. We'll just let our head rest. I'm just going to drop my chin down onto my blanket so that I can feel my cervical spine be just neutral there. I'm just slightly tugging on my feet. Yin Yoga, we're not trying to reach for big goals or anything. We're just trying to let go, right? Just trying to ease strain, breathe deep, feel the body and the mind relax. Gently and slowly, breath by breath. Let's take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Feels so nice. We could stay for a long time. Let's lift up. Put our props off to the side. Again, keep them close and handy. Good. And then bring yourself forward so that your right leg is forward and the left leg is back. Now we'll utilize blocks with this one. You can place your hands on your blocks, just framing your foot, and the blocks have 3 different heights. So you can go to whichever height is best for you. We'll just gently press down into that right hip while lengthening out the left hip flexor. Nice and long. Beautiful releasing. Again, this gets mostly the first and second chakra. So we have widened out our hips here. Definitely there's that sacral chakra. We're close to the ground, close to the root of our spine with this lunge. So that is the first chakra as well. Good. Let's take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Lift up. Let your knees open a little wider and just sit back to a child's pose for a moment, just in between. Stretch out through those arms. Our hands are still on the blocks. Relax your head right in between your arms. Then lift up and bring your left leg forward. Our blocks should already be where we want them, so just leave them there. Press down through that left hip and draw, feel that length through the right hip flexor. So now just getting that opposite side. I can tell this side for me is tighter. Doesn't quite want to let go. So maybe I'll adjust my blocks just a little bit. That's what's nice about the blocks, right? We can change them to adapt to what our body needs. Good. Slow breathing. Very nice. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's shift back onto all fours again. Let our knees open a little wider than our hips and sit back once more to a child's pose, reaching those arms forward, dropping the head down. Feel that stretch through your arms. Nice length in between the hips, space in between the hips. Good. Come back up. Take the right leg forward once more. We're going to add a little twist into this lunge so that we can involve our solar plexus chakra. So right leg is forward, left hand stays down on the mat. Reach your right arm up to the sky and feel that opening up of the chest, a little revolving through the torso. If it's too much to take your arm to the sky, just place it on your knee. That would be just fine. Or even on your hip if you want to pull that shoulder back a little bit more. Feel that rotation. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Bring your right hand back down. Shift back just a little bit, not to child's pose this time, but just to straighten out this right leg as we fold down into it for a moment. Good. Come forward and release that right leg behind you. Step the left foot forward. Settle into the lunge position. We'll keep our right hand on the ground and reach our left arm up to the sky. Now, same options to modify this if you want. Hand to the knee is fine. Hand to the hip is fine. Hand to the hip just involves the shoulder a tiny bit more. So choose your way. Feel that opening up. This starts to get into the heart chakra a little bit too, but try to focus on Uddiyana Bandha so we use that solar plexus. Definitely that stays as a focus. Inhale. Exhale, release your hand down, shift back, flex your left foot and fold, feeling that hamstring, calf, ankle, back of the leg, a little bit of fold into our abdominals as well as we pull up and in. We can feel that there. Good. Inhale, come forward. Step your left foot back down again. Remove the blocks for a moment. Choose to either do a child's pose or downward facing dog. And I'll demonstrate downward dog. Lift up onto the hands and feet and press back. So it's just a little bit more for our solar plexus chakra here. We can pull up and in through the center. But if this feels too much, please feel free to move to the child's pose or even kind of a puppy dog, maybe a little in between. So choose your way. Feel the body lengthening and releasing each time you exhale, but also connecting. What's connected to the earth here? Our hands and our feet. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure your toes each have their own unique space on your mat. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release the knees back down to the mat. Maybe you're already in a child's pose, so go ahead and just sit up and come forward to sit with your legs in front. We'll move toward Janu Sirsasana A using some of the similar props as we did for that Paschimottanasana. So let's start by just bending the right knee. Couple of choices here. If your knee is really high and it feels very tight, place a block underneath that knee. Then you can take again your bolster over your body. Maybe use your blanket. Where did mine go? Blanket over as well if you need a little extra height there. And then that strap around all of it. So you'll place your strap around that left foot there. And then let yourself fold forward. I'm actually going to move the block. For me, that's not beneficial, but it might be good for you. So do what you need to do. Settle into this Janu Sirsasana A. This is one of my favorite poses for opening up the hip, releasing some tension in between the hips, right at the low back, feeling the hamstring there. I love how this feels. So we're just gonna lay down. Now, if you want to place your head in one direction or another, you could lift your blanket up, put that block underneath so that your head has a place to rest. I'm gonna turn my gaze toward the right on this side. We'll do the other side, so we'll make sure to, change our neck. So let's just lay here for a moment. Just breathe deep. See what you can get to relax. The longer we stay, the more release we will find. And the idea is just to try to let your body relax. That's hard sometimes, and that's why we don't move quickly when we do yin poses. We give our body time to let go, to release tension. And maybe as we lay here, think about which chakra is especially speaking to you. Is it your root chakra? Is it your base? Is it your sacral chakra? Maybe it's your hips. Maybe it's the solar plexus chakra as you fold forward and squeeze the center and lengthen your back. Which chakra is talking to you? Just listen. One more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently lift up. Let's take all of this stuff and just set it down for a moment. Got to set it on this side so that we can switch our legs. Trying not to move my whole configuration too much so that I can just utilize it on the other side. So now we've got our left leg bent and our right leg straight, and the whole pillow, block, blanket, and strap all around that right leg. If you turned your head, now you're going to turn your head to the left. And again, we'll see what we can release and let go of. Each side might feel different. Sometimes one side needs a little more love than the other. We try to do our best to stay equal on each side, equal amount of time spent. So don't be too concerned about it. Just let the breath come and go. Come and go. We start to feel the body releasing, relaxing into our space here. Check in with your chakras once more, like we did on the previous side. Maybe this time it's a different chakra that's speaking to you. Maybe it's the same one. Some days it's just all about the sacral chakra or the root chakra. Whatever it is. Just breathe through it. Letting go. Take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently lift up. Nicely done. Let's set our whole blanket pillow off to the side there. We'll use our strap coming up next, so have that close by. And let's lay down onto our back first. So get on your back and just pull your knees into your chest. This pose is so simple that sometimes may be overlooked. I love it. It presses that curve of the spine to the floor, so as you rock back and forth, you can really feel your sacrum, that space right in between your hips. We've pulled in through our center, so it's maybe a little hollow space right in the middle, right in that solar plexus area. And then our tailbone right near the ground. So all three chakras identified. Good. Now grab your strap and place it around your right foot and extend that leg up to the sky. We'll keep our left knee bent and the foot on the floor. This is just going to help the lower back region to stay relaxed. So as we pull on that strap, we're just feeling the back of the leg, feeling that hamstring. You might feel it all the way up into the calf and the ankle. And some of you might be flexible to just grab your toe. If so, you don't need to have the strap. What you want to look for is that this knee stays straight. So if the knee is bending, try reaching it further out. If it starts to buckle, maybe you're pulling too far. Our goal is not how far we pull. Our goal is to feel sensation, to feel that stretch, and to breathe through it so that tension can release.
Good, let's take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Bend that right knee. Put it on your left knee. Put your ankle on your left knee. And then just gently press for a moment, getting into that sacral chakra right in the front of the hips this time. And pull that right knee into your chest and release it down. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Take your strap or grab with your hand if you're able to do that. Remember, the goal is the straight knee. So only pull as far as your body will allow, as far as your body will release. As we pull our leg toward us, it does press down that curve of the spine. And there's that hollow space in the abdominals. Releasing there. Feeling that solar plexus engage and release as well. As you hold, as you breathe, things might start to release a little bit more even. Feel free to tug a little tighter, but only as the body allows. Not trying to pull, not trying to do anything really intense. Take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bend our left knee. Put it on the right ankle on the right knee. Make your figure 4. And just gently press to stretch out the front of the hip right there. Then pull your knee into your chest, pushing that curve of the spine to the floor. And release that foot back down on the ground. Good. Now let's grab our bolster. And we're going to elevate our hips with our bolster. So, lay it down and then shimmy yourself up onto it. Let's just start with our feet on the floor. So it's elevating our hips. Maybe the edge of our glutes are kind of falling off of the bolster, and it's got support along that low back. I'm gonna move it just a tiny bit. You might have to shift it around, feel the spot that feels great. There, I found my happy spot right here, supporting the low back, the hips. Our feet, our body is on the floor. And we'll take one more lift, this time for both of our legs. Now we've elevated our hips with our bolster, so it should not hurt our back to lift. If you're finding strain in your back, perhaps you just need to move the bolster a little bit, find a different spot for it. And our legs should feel fairly weightless up here. Like they're just kind of floating through the atmosphere. As we tilt our pelvis, since we've added this bolster, it also takes some strain off of the hamstrings. So you might find it a little easier to hold the legs up in the air. Maybe you can get to, I'm not quite 90, a 90-degree angle. If that feels great, then you can pull a little further. Certainly it's okay to be here as well, right? That's just what our body needs, then that's what it needs. So find your happy place wherever that might be. And let's just let the body float here. Our legs releasing tension, hamstrings, calves, ankles. We're pulling lots of good blood flow down into the abdominals. Maybe that will help us with digestion later on in the day. That's one of the functions of the solar plexus chakra, to help with digestion. We can feel our hips. One of the functions of the sacral chakra is creativity. So hopefully today you can go out and create what you need to do, whether that be at work or at home, with family or friends. A creative flow for you today. And then of course our root chakra, one of its major focuses is grounding, balance, a sense of security, a sense of where you belong. Hopefully you've been able to feel some of those things with this practice today. And you can carry those feelings with you throughout the rest of your day or into your night, whatever time it is for you. Let's take one more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees. Just set your strap off to the side and take a little happy baby. You can be grabbing your ankles. You can grab your knees. Something to just gently open up the hips one last time, pressing them down. If you feel like you would do better with the bolster out from under you, just slide it and go back to your happy baby. We'll use the bolster in our Savasana, so it's basically in the place where we want it to be, which is good. Good. When you feel like you've worked out all the remaining kinks, everything is released, let's lower down and we'll pull that bolster right underneath your knees. So it's now nice and comfortable to support yourself as you lay in Shavasana. We haven't warmed our body up a whole lot today. That's not the focus of a Yin Yoga practice. So I would suggest taking your blanket and laying it across yourself so that you can rest comfortably in your Shavasana. Nice comfortable space. And I'll let you lay here and rest. I'll wake you up with the sound of a bell. So just stay calm, just stay comfortable. This final resting pose is, Shavasana translates to corpse pose. What a wonderful way to connect with the earth, to just lay and breathe it in and feel all that support underneath you. So enjoy this final rest. I will wake you up with the sound of the bell. Just let your body absorb all of the good foundational chakra work that we've done today.
Gently start to wake yourself up. Rotate through your wrists and your ankles. Point and flex your feet. Stretch your arms overhead to lengthen through your entire body. And roll yourself onto one side in fetal pose. Gently press up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. You were awoken with the tone of the sacral chakra. Hopefully you felt that resonating through the camera into your yoga space. Thank you so much for your practice today. I wish for you balance, creativity, and good sense of yourself. Reginald Blythe said, "The importance and unimportance of the self cannot be exaggerated." Thank you so much for your practice today, for joining me. Namaste.